Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be sharing my opinion on the Magic Knight Captains and Black Clover and their ranking. Alright, let's hop right into it. As you can see, it's obviously by me. Alright, so in 15th place, also, this will contain manga spoilers, so, yeah, just know that. Alright, so in 15th place, that already knows that there's 15 captains. We have Kaiser Grandvorka. Kaiser uses vortex magic. We do not know a lot about Kaiser, but his elf form was definitely the strongest that we've seen of him because we really haven't seen much from him. He has vortex magic, so he can create vortexes that are kind of like tornadoes, but it's not really using wind. It's just creating a tornado out of pure mana that has nothing to do with wind. And he can also like spin things around, as we saw him spin like Fuegoleon's flame magic away. Oh, not away, but he made it like in a vortex, and it couldn't hit him because it was stuck in a vortex. So we don't know a lot about him. We really know only about his powers. We have not seen a lot of feats from him, so we're gonna leave him in last place for now. In 14th place, we have Gouldre Poisot. I've heard a lot of misconceptions of Gouldre being weaker than Kaiser, but I do not believe so because we don't know like anything about Kaiser. Like we know Gouldre has a useful power. Kaiser is just kind of, I don't think he was really made a Magic Knight captain because of his power. Probably more because of his brains and his intelligence. But you see, Gouldre actually has a somewhat useful power. He can, with his transparency magic, he can make himself invisible and he cannot be hit by mana in that state. Now, lots of people have the Heart Kingdom's secret technique of mana words now. I guess it's not really much of a secret anymore, but everybody that was training there, so 11 people, and 7 of which being black balls, know the word. Okay. I don't know. What I was saying is, Gouldre has an actually somewhat useful power. With his transparency magic, he can make himself be immune to mana. Now, lots of people can just not get defeated before he runs out of mana. So, but Kaiser is just honestly completely useless on the battlefield. Not completely useless, but pretty useless. Gouldre at least has some use. In 13th place, we have Charlotte Roselay. Now, Charlotte Roselay is nothing to scoff at. Charlotte is a complete powerhouse. Although she is the third to weakest on this list, the jump between Gouldre and Charlotte is a very, very wide gap. Okay. Charlotte uses Briar magic and is able to, and with her Briar Queen her Briar Queen form, she can basically control and use briars in any way she really wants. A briar is basically just a vine with thorns on it, if you didn't know. As you can see here, she has red and blue roses, her being a blue rose knight. We saw her a little bit, we didn't see her. In her elf form, she was very, very strong, but that's not her strongest form, because later we do see her using this against my memory might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Magicula. And, well, yeah. So, he was not disappointing in that fight. It's just that I do think the next person on this list is just barely stronger than her. That next person being Will Bormoistia. Oh my god, that last name is Jesus. So, in his fight against Yuno, we saw that he is very strong enough that he destroyed his own crystal from his mana output being so high. So Will is the captain of the Aqua Deer. Oh my god, I forgot to say what they're the captain of. He's obviously captain. He's the current captain of the Purple Orcas. He's the former captain of the Purple Orcas. She's the captain of the Blue Rose Knights, and he's obviously the captain of the Aqua Deer. So, with Will, we see his painting magic be extremely strong, and being able to use two of the opposite types of magic at the same time with his painting magic, which is kind of insane. Those two types being water and fire magic, and water and flame magic. But then, in his fight against Yuno, we saw that big demon thing. He painted like a demon, and it shot out this really strong laser. I do believe that Will has higher endurance than Charlotte, and I think that Will could outlast Charlotte in a fight, because we saw him be able to go toe-to-toe with Yuno while protecting the crystal. And Yuno wasn't trying to protect his crystal. That's what Noelle and Anne were doing in the fight. So, Will was fighting Yuno and almost won against Yuno in the Spirit Die, which Yuno was planning to use against Asta, but Asta tied with Longus's team. So that couldn't happen. So, that already is a feat of its own. But in the fight against Lucifero, he got hit a couple of times, and we heard in the story that most people would die from getting hit once by Lucifero, and he was just at it. He was still able to back up the Magic Knight captains. In that fight, he was more of a support mage, but still, he was just insane. He learned the Heart Kingdom's mana words, so he could give basic commands to his spells. Like, for example, he could be like, this ice has heat inside of it, as we saw in right after the time skip when he was trying to stop the rampaging Charmy. Alright, anyways, and he's in 11th place we have Jack the Ripper. Jack, unlike most of the Magic Knight captains, Jack died. Unlike most of the current Magic Knight captains, Jack actually died. So, I mean, him dying is kind of a little bit showing weakness, but you could obviously die to somebody that's just a little bit stronger than you. So, But, his, I think it's called severing magic, is just basically severs things. He does compete with base Yami, so that's a feat in itself. but that's obviously base Yami. So, Jack has always been in a rivalry with Yami. That's a feat of itself. At the Starfell Festival, Jack and Yami were going to slash or attack each other with their blades, and it said this might destroy the entire, place. So we already know he could destroy, a bit of the Clover Kingdom, but that wasn't even at his strongest. His strongest was right before he died, when he was doing his final slashes. I think he slashed so hard that his hand fell off, as you can see here. Well, no, that's not what I was. Never mind. That's not what I was saying. So he was being super strong with his slashes, but the thing is, even with the hand off, he was still fighting. What is this? He only had his right hand, and he's a dual wielder because the things come out of his whatever they're called. The things from your wrist to your elbow. Anyways, in 10th place, I'm pretty sure you already saw it. I'm sorry. It's Nozel Silva, and I'm talking about, of course, in his fight with Asier Silva, the Silver Guardian. This was able to withstand so many hits from the likes of Paladin Asier Silva. Did I forget to say what? No, captain of the Green Premium. And it says, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Anyways, he's the captain of the Silver Eagles, as most of you probably know. He was able to withstand multiple hits from Asier Silva, Paladin form. So that's already a feat in itself. He was the man to actually finish off Magicula by having his Mercury magic go inside of Magicula and tear Magicula up from the inside, which is absolute carnage. So that, yeah. We obviously see that he has almost impeccable defenses, and yeah, obviously a Silva, which is royal blood, so has a lot of magic power. And the Mercury magic, unlike all of his other siblings, he inherited the attribute of his mother. His mother's attribute was steel. The rest of the Silvas got water magic from their father. And we already know that Asier Silva is extremely strong. So, him having the same attribute or the same base, what it came from, is already pretty, a good start. And just coating himself in the steel is pretty cool. Alright, so next up we have 9th place Fuegoleon Vermilion with his Salamander. Salamander is a fire spirit. Fauna with the fire spirit was capable of destroying Asta if Asta didn't have any help from Finral, Vanessa, Fonzel, and the entire forest of witches, then he would have honestly probably died right then and there. But that wasn't Salamander at its strongest. Its strongest is when it went to Forgolion. Forgolion had lost an arm in his battle, so he got a stronger arm. An arm of flames. So, which is where Salamander would perch. As you can see right here. Salamander is, of course, strong because Salamander's prime was not in the Forest of Witches. It was when Forgolion woke up to the end of the series, or the end of the manga. So, Forgolion has countless feats. Well, not countless feats. He was able to beat Rades with little to no effort in his base without Salamander. With ease, while Asta was struggling a lot. This is beginning of the series, of course, but Forgolion's been around for a while. He's obviously Nozelle's rival, and I guess he's a little bit stronger than Nozelle. He's also a royal, like Nozelle, but instead is the House of Vermilion. I believe that the Vermilions are stronger than the Silvas, except for Noelle, but Noelle's not a captain, so, you know. Alright, anyways, and he's obviously captain of the Crimson Lion Knights. Crimson Lion Knights, that sounds right. Alright, in 8th place we have William Vengeance. Now you may be thinking, wait, but didn't they say that William is the closest man to being the Wizard King at one point? So why is he in 8th place? Well, William is the captain of the Golden Dawn, and we haven't seen as many feats as we have from the people in front of him. William uses World Tree magic, and the difference between normal tree magic, which is basically just wood, or wood style from Naruto. The difference between tree magic and world tree magic is that world tree magic drains mana with the trees. He has spells where he throws out like a sapling, and the sapling will grow to the size of a full-blown tree by absorbing lots and lots of mana in the area. So he drains mana, and also his control over the over the trees is pretty good because he can make a tree extremely giant. He's obviously the captain of what is supposed to be the best squad. Black Bulls is obviously the strongest, but before Asta joined the Black Bulls, the Golden Dawn was the best squad without a doubt, with Yuno and Longris and obviously William himself, and I mean, yeah, I do believe that Patry might be stronger than William, because Patry is like a really good villain. Well, but being a good villain does not mean you're strong. But Patry is probably stronger than William, but I didn't decide to count that because they're technically different people. Kind of like Julius and Lucius. But we just haven't seen too many feats, and he resigned as the Magic Knight captain, so, you know. We haven't seen him for a little bit. Alright, next up, in 7th place, we have Dorothy Unsworth with her Dream Magic. Dream Magic is overpowered, bro. She can basically make her opponent go into her magic, which is go inside of her world, which is Glamour World. Glamour World actually has the structure of like a world. So the ways of getting out are making her think of something that she's familiar with to and you can just think of like an exit door. And you can just say, exit door, exit door, exit door. And it will pop into her head, right? So, whatever pops into her head will be the reality. She can create Yami. She can create people that are strong. Like, as we saw against Yami, she created a bunch of Yami clones. So, the ways of getting out are by saying, exit door, or something like that. And then it'll pop into her head and it'll exist. But she can still, like, wrap chains around it. She can make a monster come out of the door or something. But the second way is to be able to destroy a world. So if you can, like, cut the world or destroy the world in some way, then you can get out of the world because it has the structure of a world. As Yami did with his what's it called? With his monozone, dark magic lightless slash equinox, or dark magic dimension slash equinox that just absolutely destroyed the entire world. So yeah, there are only a couple of ways. There are only like 2 ways to get out. So it really is, extremely strong. So, she's the captain of the Coral Peacocks. And in 6th place, we have... Wait, let me see if I can remember. Conrad Leto. Now, Conrad is from the movie, and he uses key magic. Now, in my opinion, that's more of a support power. So his main power comes with is the sword of the Wizard King. This is obviously his strongest form with the sword and the power of all of the previous Wizard King that he found. That he got, like Avalanche, one of them was called, and Princia Funny Bunny, the only known Wizard Queen. But, anyways, Conrad could probably destroy the Dream World with the sword of the Wizard King. We don't know a lot about him only having the movie, which is like an hour and 50 minutes, so, I really can't say much about him. So in 5th place, we have Asier Silva, which we talked about her a lot with Nozel. But Asier I'm talking about her paladin form. Asier as a paladin is just something else. So Asier was normal Asier was almost able to beat Magicula. So I think I put her power level on base Asier, or not paladin as Asier, around Magicula level. And Magicula, and whenever you become a paladin, I say it's around times 3 power. And she was already super strong. So in my opinion, Magicula times 3 equals Lucifero. Yes, I'm literally doing Black Clover character math. So I rank her around Lucifero level. So we don't have much to go off of. She's the former captain of the Silver Eagles. We don't have much to go off of because, she died and she was just brought to life as a paladin without her actual soul. So yeah. Next up, in 4th place, we have Mereoleona Vermilion. Mereoleona is a master of monozone, but as we know, with her spell, we know that as the fight keeps going on, Mereoleona gets stronger. But there is a limit, and the way she breaks that limit is if she sees her comrades die, in front of her, then she goes into a pure state of mana and can bring them back and make them like her henchmen while the spell is active. She can also make like flame lions and stuff. That's her strongest form, her pure mana state. So all physical attacks will go through her. So that means, say, Asta, that would go through her if it was just a punch from Asta. But also, I believe that, so if Mereoleona is fighting Yami, for example, then Yami with dark magic could, and he's using all of his physical strength. He uses dark mana zone, dark magic, dimension slash, equinox. The physical strength that Yami would put into that spell would not change anything. It would just be the mana power itself that would have the effect. So she has higher resistance. We already know that Mereoleona is super strong, being the lioness herself, the big sister of Fuegoleon, a royal being a Vermilion, so having a lot of mana. She's just a complete monster. In third place, we have, this feels so weird putting him in third place, but in third place, we have Julius Novachrono. Now, Julius is the Wizard King, or at least was the Wizard King. And like I didn't count Patry to be William, I'm not counting Lucius to be Julius, because they're different souls. So Julius is the Wizard King. That in itself is a feat. Julius could protect the entire kingdom from Patry's reign of light swords. But after that, he became like a kid, and we didn't really get much feats. So really, we only had feats from like below episode 110, which really wasn't a lot. So yeah. But we do know him being a Wizard King, his time magic is completely overpowered. His speed is amazing. He can trap people in time. So Julius is just a complete monster powerhouse. In second place, we have Yami. And I do only mean this with the last, 3 chapters of the manga. Because Yami recently got the Devil Power-Up pill. So, that pill means that it basically gives you a devil's power. But the thing is, most people can't control it. Like, you just go wild. And Yami's father said that if you take the pill, you will, Did I forget to say all the squads again? Okay, I did, sorry. So Mereoleona, obviously, was temporarily the captain of the Crimson Lion Kings. Julius was the captain of the Grey Deer. Former captain of the Grey Deer. Yami is obviously the captain of the Black Bulls. But anyways, his father told them that taking the pill increases your how much you want to kill. But no, it just increases your physical strength and all of your stats by so much that you run out of control. But Yami is super strong already, so he can control it. That's a feat. And I do believe that with the pill, I rank Yami slightly higher. Just a little bit higher than, what's his name? Julius, because the pill what he was going toe to toe with Morgan, which Lucius said was to be stronger than Lucius, but he was doing it with Noct and his little sis, which is actually in the picture right here. He was doing it with Noct and his little sis, but he let's say he was doing 33% of the work, okay? Because, I consider Julius to be 25% of Lucius's power. So that's like already 7% stronger than Julius. That's my thought process. And number 1, we have the youngest captain to ever be a captain. And obviously it's not Will. It is none other than, it's obviously, I forgot to say last names again. I know why. I'm just forgetting so much stuff. We already know Nova Chrono, Tsukahira. But who is number 1? Number 1 is Grimboyal. Has two grimoires, unlike most characters. Unlike all characters except for him. So he's actually the reincarnation of Licht's son, which does not make a lot of sense. For most of his life, he was using technically his mother's power, which is wind magic, because Lady Tetia used wind magic. Now, obviously, they're not his real parents, but technically, because he's the reincarnation of Licht's son. So, but later on, he got what their son's magic was going to be: star magic in his fight with Xenon. So, star magic is completely overpowered. He obviously gets the power of the stars. He, like Will, also can use the Heart Kingdom's mono words to give his attacks basic commands. And he obviously beat Xenon, barely though. He beat Xenon. He was fighting a Lucius clone. Which one of the paladins was he fighting? Was he fighting Damnatio? I don't know. My memory is kind of fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure he was fighting Damnatio. The paladin Damnatio, obviously, which is already, paladins are obviously really strong. Othniel is a stronger paladin, but Nozel obviously wasn't 1v1ing Othniel. Obviously, she had Noel, which is stronger than he had Noel. I might have accidentally said she there. He had Noel, which is obviously stronger than him. But is of a different breed. In the joint struggle arc, he was also fighting Xenon. He refused to go to the Heart Kingdom training, and yet still was going toe-to-toe with Asta, which is the main character, obviously. He's the deuteragonist of Black Clover, which is, just plot armor, because the deuteragonist is second to the protagonist. But, Noel was kind of more important than for a really long time in the story, but that doesn't matter. So, it's safe to say that is the strongest captain. So, I guess I'll quickly just go through the list without talking about them real quick. Alright. 15th, Kaiser Granvorka, current captain of the Purple Orcas. Strongest form is the L form. Gouldre Poisot, former captain of the Purple Orcas. Strongest form only has one, so base. 13th, Charlotte Roseley, strongest form, Briar Queen, captain of the Blue Rose Knights. Will Bormore's Tier, captain of the Aqua Deer. And strongest form is probably with the demon thing that he was using against Yuno, but it's improved form after the time skip. Jack the Ripper, I guess, captain of the Green Praying Mantises. Strongest form when he was about to die and he was like, I'll do this, yeah. Noel Silva, captain of the Silver Eagles. Strongest form, Silver Guardian, as you can see right here. Forgoleon Vermilion, strongest form with Salamander. And Firearm, captain of the Crimson Lion Kings. William Vengeance, captain of the Golden Dawn. Strongest form, only really has one, but technically the strongest form would be Patry in my opinion. But that doesn't count, like I said earlier. He only really has his base form. Dorothy Unsworth, strongest form in the Glamour world. Captain of the Coral Peacocks. Conrad Leto, captain of the White Serpent, which stopped being a thing after he died. Strongest form with the sword and with the power of the former Wizard Kings. Ophir Silva, former captain of the Silver Eagles. Strongest form, Paladin. Merliona Vermilion, captain of the Crimson Lion King, temporarily captain of the Crimson Lion Kings. And strongest form, Pure Mana. Julius Novachrono, strongest form. I guess just technically Lucius, but obviously that doesn't count. But I guess he only really has one. But not the kid form, obviously. Yami Sugihito, strongest form, Devil Pill. Captain of the Black Bulls. He was captain of the Grey Deer. How did I forget that? That's literally the point of what I'm doing. Yuno Grimboyal, captain of the Golden Dawn. Youngest captain ever. And strongest form, Dual Grimoire, Star Magic, and Wind Magic. That's the list, guys. Hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. I will see you in the next one. And goodbye. That might have been a lot. Kind of annoying, maybe, because I forgot a lot of things. I was like, oh, did I forget last name? Oh, did I forget what captain of the squad they are? Oh. And even in the last one, I forgot to say the captain of what squad Julius was the captain of. But anyways, I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye.